Thank you so much for joining me in the throne room today. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the other theories that I told you that I was going to go ahead and talk about on Saturday. So that is actually what I am going to do. Now, to open up this actual episode of the throne room, I want to talk about Theon and Yara get their revenge. It would be very perfect for that to happen at the beginning of this episode. So I want to thank you for joining us in the throne room today. Now go ahead and bend that knee and subscribe. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get into it right now. Now, after apologizing to Jon for betraying the Starks, Theon Greyjoy, or Reek as we still quietly refer to him, seems to be having a magically grown pair at this point. Now, most cowardly, Greyjoy is headed off to King's Landing with some Ironborn men behind him to try and rescue his sister Yara. Now, if Theon does miraculously manage to free Yara from Cersei's wrath, their only recourse would be to kill their uncle, which would probably be fitting. Now, Euron and Cersei ruling together is the very last thing that Westeros needs, and it would be a reign of terror. So, we have two mad king and queens up on the throne, and they would just be crazy. So the next theory I want to talk about is this is the most debated theory out there, and it's Bran is the Night King. Now, after zeroing in on some clues peppered through the season 7 finale of Game of Thrones, I actually am a little bit more convinced that Bran Stark is the Night King. If you're befuddled, I'll explain here. Now, this is a theory floating around that Bran, who is now the three-eyed raven, time traveled to the past to the moment when the Night King was created to try and stop him. Unfortunately, Bran got trapped in the Night King's body. That's why he's trapped in this situation. It's kind of a parallel, but we'll see what happens. Now, this all seems a bit far-fetched at first, so a lot of people are going to probably push back and go crazy in the comments, hopefully. But then we have to look at the clothing Bran was wearing in the season finale, and it's looked dangerously close to the Night King's regal outfit, and that's not the only thing. Now, remember when the Night King and the army of the dead began their march after the wall was destroyed, there was an aerial view of them entering Westeros, and if you looked a little bit closer, they seemed to be assembled into the shape of the direwolf head, the sigil of the Starks. So everybody's kind of saying that the Starks have something to do with the White Walkers, and that would be a very fitting end of what to be.